What if you were standing in the middle of a battlefield, the roar of troops clashing, and clouds of dust covering the horizon? Second by second, the fate of the nation, and even the history of mankind, is decided by one decision: the general's move. You feel the tension, the anxiety, and the desire to win in every second. From the mountain peaks of the Himalayas to the deserts of North Africa, the stories of masters of strategy and warfare have shaped civilizations and carved lasting legends. Let's first discuss the dawn of strategy. In Mesopotamian civilization, the first kingdoms began to build tactical armies. Inscriptions in the city of Uruk tell of ranks of archers and chariots of war, early evidence that battlefield intelligence was as important as firepower. We see the concepts of formation, supply lines, and reconnaissance that are now the basis of military strategy theory. On the other side of the world, ancient China carved out the art of war. The Art of War by Sun Tzu, 800 years BC. Theories such as know thyself and thy enemy and evasion without battle were already guiding strategists. Archaeological evidence in Zhou shows patterns of marching and maneuvering that refer to these principles. The second one we discussed was legion and phalanx, clash of formations. On the shores of the Mediterranean Sea, Greece and Rome introduced dense infantry formations, phalanx and legion. The Spartan phalanx, with its large wooden shields and long spears, was able to hold off the enemy. But then the Roman legion, more flexible and adaptable, revolutionized warfare, teaching the world about discipline, logistics, and reserve tactics. Great victories such as the battles of Salamis, 480 BC, and Alesia, 52 BC, were not simply a matter of numbers, but clever maneuvering and utilization of terrain. At Salamis, the Greek fleet lured Persian ships into a narrow strait. At Alesia, Caesar surrounded Vercingetorix with a double ring of fortifications. This is the timeless lesson: superior strategy can defeat superiority. In our third, we discuss medieval masters, castles, knights, and siegecraft. During the Middle Ages, magnificent fortresses dominated the European landscape. Siege techniques such as trebuchets, siege towers, and secret tunnels flourished. Generals like Richard the Lionheart and Salahuddin al-Ayyubi combined personal bravery with an understanding of siege techniques, trying to conquer impregnable wall after wall. However, it was not only the hammer that was decisive. Sabotage and psychological tactics, creating hunger, disease, as well as intimidation, were part of the strategy. History records how small armies, with guerrilla strategies and local knowledge, often subdued larger garrisons. This is a lesson that war is not just a clash of iron, but also a battle of the minds. Fourth, we discuss the Gunpowder Revolution. From pike to flintlock. In the 16th century, gunpowder changed the face of warfare forever. Matchlock rifles and arquebuses began to replace long spears, forcing neat formations like the Greek polemos and Roman legions to evolve. Commanders like Sweden's Gustavus Adolphus mixed fire-armed infantry with light cavalry, creating the salad maneuver on the Breitenfeld field, a spectacular victory that proved that the combination of weapons and mobility determined victory. In other parts of Europe, the 30 Years' War, 1618-1648, became a testing ground for new tactics: Vauban-style bastion fortifications, large-caliber artillery guns, and industrial-scale logistics. Louis XIV later popularized the direction de l'artillerie. The coordination of artillery with infantry and cavalry created a modern pattern of warfare. This strategy confirmed one thing: new technologies forced changes in doctrine and army structure. In the fifth, we discuss Napoleonic genius: maneuver, warfare, redefined. Napoleon Bonaparte took warfare to the pinnacle of the art of maneuver. With small, self-contained corps, he moved quickly across Prussia and Austria, breaking alliances and conquering Central Europe in a matter of weeks. The Battle of Austerlitz, 1805, showed his precision. He invited the Russian, Austrian forces into the center, then encircled them from two sides, a battle of the three emperors that ended in a landslide for the coalition. However, Napoleon's dominance ended in Russia. Winter hardiness, elongated supply lines, and scorched earth tactics forced back even his iconic army. From the glorious victory at Austerlitz to the destruction at Moscow, we learned that tactical bravery must be accompanied by logistical preparedness and weather adaptation, crucial lessons in any military campaign. In the sixth, we discuss the industrial wars, mass armies, and railroads. The Industrial Revolution changed the dimensions of war. Trains moved thousands of soldiers in a matter of hours. Steamships ruled the rivers and seas, and factories mass-produced rifles and ammunition. In the American Civil War, 1861-1865, Generals Ulysses S. Grant and Robert E. Lee employed a strategy of depth, utilizing railroads to strengthen positions and targeting enemy supply lines. In Europe, World War I confirmed the era of trench warfare. Traditional offensive tactics crumbled in the face of machine guns and heavy artillery. Commanders began experimenting with poison gas, French tanks, and reconnaissance aircraft in search of a breakthrough. Despite casualties in the millions, these experiments laid the foundations of the combined arms doctrine and brought war to the air. In the 7th, we discuss modern doctrine, Blitzkrieg to guerrilla tactics. In World War II, Germany practiced Blitzkrieg with integrated tanks, fighters, and motorized infantry. In Poland, France, and the Soviet Union, panzer tank formations broke enemy lines, with Stuka sweeping through air defenses. This method confirmed that speed and the element of surprise were more powerful than sheer numbers. In contrast, partisan and guerrilla forces, from Che Guevara in Cuba to the Viet Cong in Vietnam, taught us one thing: local knowledge, popular support, and hit-and-run tactics can exhaust superior forces. These asymmetric conflicts prove that technological dominance is not always enough. Local hearts and minds can win long wars. In the 8th, we discuss the future of warfare, AI, drones, and cyber. Entering the 20th century, the battlefield expands into cyberspace. Armed drones, real-time reconnaissance satellites, and artificial intelligence, AI, algorithms, are changing intelligence and precision strike tactics. Operations such as Guardian Eagle use swarms of autonomous drones to surround targets, showing that speed of information and data analysis is becoming a major force. However, cyber warfare brings a new threat. Cyber attacks on vital infrastructure can cripple a country without a single bullet being fired. Russia, in 2015, attacked Ukraine's power grid, and state-sponsored hacker groups have repeatedly tested commercial aviation systems. In the future, the master of strategy will not only be a field commander, but also a cyber expert, combining conventional military techniques with high-level cybersecurity. The entire journey from wooden spears to autonomous drones confirms one truth: strategy is always rooted in intelligence, adaptation, and a deep understanding of the opponent and the environment. Now it's your turn to apply these valuable lessons in business, in sports, or in the challenges of everyday life. If you enjoyed this historical adventure, press subscribe to continue your exploration of masters of strategy and warfare. Don't forget to like and share your favorite viewpoints in the comments. Join the scope of history, and together we explore the strategies of the future.